Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Vibe Podcast, Season 4, Episode 11. And hey, how have you been, guys? I hope as we close the month of May, you guys are having a very, very amazing month. The few I've talked to really wish that this month can go real quick and iishe. I don't know if my guest will share that same idea, but I'll ask her. And I believe Pia Munaski's the Vibe Podcast, and you guys are vibing through all the episode. This is 111th episode since the episode was started, and this is Season 4, Episode 11. Thank you guys for always tuning in, and I really appreciate it. It's been a journey full of so much, and I wouldn't be here without you. So on today's topic, like you've seen it on your timeline, job shaming. Like literally, man, there is something like that, and it has been existing even before we were born. You know, when we were young, we always wanted, I'll finish school, get an amazing job, get someone to marry, tupige nayo maisha, tuzae watoto, and all that. But then life comes with the reality. And we cannot lie. There are jobs that are better than others, and no matter what we do, not all of us will get into it. Some of us will get into it, and I think this usually goes to people who have left maybe school 4 to 5 years ago, and you've seen a transition of many people trying to get into workspace, and this also changes the dynamics of your relationship with them, because once they get money, it's just how the rule of the world works. People just move and work with people that they can now share the same mind. So unapata watu wapo wako na a lot of issues kidogo. When you hang out with them, they usually like, hey bro, kwani hujaipata kazi and all that. So today we want to talk about that topic today, and I'm joined with an amazing guest. How we met is very funny, in another industry that is quite amazing though. Hi
Sam.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
So today, who do we have today on the VAR podcast?
If I introduce myself, my name is Anne Saragi. I work in the white collar industry. So the topic we have today is job shaming.
Yes.
So in job shaming, we have two types of jobs here. There are white collar jobs and there are blue collar jobs.
I like the intro, man. Hey. Yeah, deep.
So I happen to be on the other side.
Oh, you happen to be on the other
the
side.
white collar side, but it doesn't change my perspective about work. Work is work.
Work is work.
Yes.
So what do you understand the term job shaming to you in the white collar industry? What does it mean to you?
Job shaming, I'd say, is more of mocking or humiliating someone for what they do or for their role. So this cuts across whether you are in Jua Kali or you work in an office. So regardless of where you work, job shaming is going to happen. Whether you work in the corporate, whether you work in the informal sector. So in corporate, definitely there are different levels where you work at.
Okay.
And that's where this thing of understanding work is work comes in. You might finish work early. You might finish school early, you get a job. Someone else finishes school later, they get a bigger job than you who got a job earlier.
Exactly.
So there's levels to life, and when you come to understand that, you will have a mindset that allows you to accommodate other people and know that regardless of where you are, someone else can be ahead of you. There are people in the informal sector who are doing really well, and people in the corporate sector who are doing really well, and there are people in corporate who are doing really bad.
Very true. It's just the way life is. It balances everything.
Yes.
So you believe it's there?
It is.
Why do you think that's the case? Why do you think we have job shaming?
It's just a closed mindset. Yeah.
To you, there's no in between there.
It's just a closed mindset, or you're just a pathetic person.
You're just a bad person.
Yeah. Because it's so wrong for you to think you will be where you are forever.
And I think those of us who have been lucky enough to go for an attachment can even attest. Actually, it starts from there. Especially if you are someone who's 20 being job shamed by someone who's 60, someone who has been in the company for almost so many years, and you're wondering where does this come from? So it's pretty much sad especially when you're doing it for free,
Uh-huh.
and now they shove it over your face. Hata umetoka shule juzi, hebu tuambie hii inafaa ijibiwe aje. I saw it in a law firm where with the law firm, before you guys go to court, there's a way you go and do some background check.
Yeah.
So before that, now they ask you, wewe umetoka shule juzi, hebu tuambie inafanyiwa aje. So you feel like they are not asking the question for you to jibu them, but just for them to humiliate you and make you umetoka shule juzi na ukumbuke vitu mbili tatu.
Okay.
So it's really quite sad in the industry, especially when you are the youngest person in that firm. And I tend to believe the youngest people tend to get provoked the most, and it's quite sad, but it is what it is. But now it comes to the bad side. What do you think are the effects of job shaming?
Self-esteem.
Oh, it kills your...
Yes. If you're not strong enough to know it's okay for me not to know something, especially in a work setting, if you do not know that it's okay for you not to know, and it's okay for you to ask, and it's okay for you to be taught, because school is different from work.
True.
Very different. So your esteem might be affected. And that's the problem. You thinking you need to know everything. Yes. So I think mostly it's self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Yeah. When it comes to your work.
When it comes.
Yeah.
True.
It's more of a mental thing more than anything else.
Anything else.
Yes.
Because now you'll be unable even to give out idea, to put in an output, because they'll be like, you feel like when you say something, they'll throw it back to you. Like, bro.
Yeah.
So it's quite sad. I think here another effect I think I can put on that is the fact that people, how do you call it? Your communication with the work area now deteriorates vibaya sana, because now you don't know who to talk to.
Yes.
And especially when you find that you don't have anyone to talk to, maybe when you find firms that don't even have counseling areas and someone to open up to, it gets to you. And I think that's why it also comes back to mental. It affects you really bad, and it messes you up. And this is a question I'd like to pose to my listeners, wherever you're listening from. What was that one thing that really, like, when you first experienced your job shaming, how did it go? Was it amazing? Was it sad? Did you feel so bad? Was your self-esteem thwarted? And did it make you want to quit at some point and just go home? Because I've seen people even crying, man. But I'm saying, anatoka tu job, anakwambia yeye alikuwa analianga tu every single day anatoka job, because it's stressful. It's too much. If it's not work pressure, you're being job shamed for what you're doing, because they think you're not supposed to be here. It has made me question. It's funny how can we equate this as job shaming, whereby you've been called at this company, but it's not that you've qualified, but someone in the top management has placed you there, and you don't know what to do. Then someone tells you, bro, actually letwa hapa si hata kama huyo jamaa angekuwa hapa. Do you think we can equate that to job shaming? Ama your choice is another personal thing going on?
That's like a whole mix of other things. But at least if you're that person, we will give you a kudos for networking. You've really done well with networking.
You've gone out your way.
Your networks are working for you.
Yeah.
But I think networks without competence is something else. But if you're starting out, it's understandable. It's the thing I said. If you're starting out, do not ever feel bad that you do not know something. School never prepares you for work.
Because theory more.
Yeah, imagine sometimes even if you're hired into like higher levels of management, you need training if you move to a new company.
Exactly.
Everyone needs training. So do not ever think that you know things. No, you don't. And work experience teaches you maybe things about yourself, about its soft skills. It's about how you relate to people, how you manage your relations at the same time, how you communicate, how you plan yourself. So work experience teaches you how to handle situations generally from a principal level, but it will never teach you how to execute things.
The things.
So the execution part you will be taught, regardless of which level you are at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that executing part has taught me, has made me go back to something. I've never been in any service industry. And I remember when I applied for this job, it was one of those long holidays, and you're like, you are looking for something to do. I'm like, hey, yes, I'm looking for a job. Funny enough, they just looked at it. They'll be like, okay, asawa. But now with us, we don't even care what you've been doing. So we have our own program. And they took us outside the country. They trained us for 2 months, and we came back. And now we did work according to how they do work.
Yes.
So I even saw people who are coming from prestigious service school, wasiwa hospitality. And you just find, first of all, kuna hii njia tunapitia kwanza, we teach you how we do things in this restaurant, and then you come back.
Yeah.
So you're like, no matter where you are in life, they'd be like,
they just need to know, are
Yeah.
you teachable?
Are you teachable? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's it. And you move this way. If you're not, kama unajua mingi sana,
Yeah.
go open your restaurant, you do your thing.
Do your thing,
Do your
yes.
thing. I think most farms have also really like emulated all that also, and taken in the fact that we will teach you our ways, where the lafu decide kama utafunzwa ama utajua mambo mingi we do away with you.
Yeah. And sometimes if you find people who are older than you putting you down at work, they are definitely or somehow threatened.
It really makes me...
The generational differences at work. If you find someone who's not confident enough in their own capabilities, they will try to put you down because they will feel like you might outshine them.
Na unatafuta tu unga man.
Si ndio hiyo?
Unatafuta tu vile uta rent keja, utafute nini, utume door home. This is the person who has a family is coming at you every single morning. It's pretty sad. I think that's why even it also leads to depression.
At work.
At work.
You know, one thing I've been thinking about, I'd advise my children to actually do psychology-based courses because mental health is a crisis right now.
Manze.
I feel like in future, the psychology and the psychiatrists and the counselors are the people who are going to have work because everything is just not working for the society at the moment. Whether it's at the workplace, whether it's at family level, whether it's
Personal.
social, just friends. Yeah, people need counseling
Man.
from these corporate and whatever issues that are popping up. Yeah,
because there's a lot. And people now are becoming mentally aware that you can be really depressed, and it can be a matter of life and death.
Yes.
And you really need help.
Yeah.
And I really hope most of our parents emulate it, that when you tell them you don't feel it, they'll be able to understand you.
And it's stemming from small, simple things such as job shaming. Saying something nasty to you at work. Someone walking past where you have your own business going, and they show you madharau, you know.
Exactly, man.
And you're there thinking, Kwani, what's wrong with me?
Unadhani shop yako ni hidden gem, kumbe inaonekana. Oh, that's depressing, man. Unatumiwa screenshot jamani ya shop yako kwa group. Anadhani yake ni hidden gem, kumbe ni customer sana. Oh, like ni nini Mungu nilifanyia watu. It's sad, maze. It's sad. Maze, job shaming is so sad. Now, maze, watu waache hizo. So, this brings me to you. Have you ever been job shamed personally?
Myself?
Yourself, yeah. In any version of it.
Okay, I think I've had incidences.
Incidences, okay.
At work. But I'm glad COVID really changed a lot of things for many organizations.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
like it was I know it was a bad thing, but it was also a blessing in a way.
That's life. It comes with both sides.
Like it broke so many things. Like people started to think I could be here today, I could be gone tomorrow. You know, for me where I work, it broke a lot of barriers. Yeah, so from where I sit, I'd say like I don't have like a strong example of job shaming, but I've been aware Like there are sometimes, let's say for myself, I'd walk past someone, let's say it's a mama mboga, and I'd be thinking, me, I'm going to work, you're there, things like those. Yeah, so, and there's that thought at the back of my head, thinking this person is making a living for themselves. From this job, they are able to take care of their family, pay their children's school fees, and to do whatever they need to do without begging anyone.
Yes.
So I really tend to look at the bigger picture. What are we all doing here?
So the small...
We are trying to make money.
Everybody's trying.
Yeah.
In any means possible.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and no one needs the other.
No.
We all need each other.
We all need each other.
Yeah.
So
no one needs the other more.
Everybody just we coexist because we need one another.
Exactly. Every job is as important as the next. We can't all go to offices.
Yeah, and leave watu wa car wash na tuache watu wa matri.
Who will wash your car for you?
Utakatiwa na mambo, utakatiwa sukuma na nani?
Who will buy from you even you where you're going to work? You need people to buy from you.
Exactly. Wow, okay. This is nice. I actually remember that a friend opened out on an aspect of whereby, once you're done with school, now you find people who are better off. And I don't know how many. Were you lucky to get job faster if you finished school?
I think I got it relatively faster
compared to your other colleagues.
I wasn't the fastest.
Okay.
There are people who got jobs when we were still in school before we graduate.
Was that stressful for you? Did it ever get into your mind
somehow, not because I thought they were better than me, but because I thought, why am I not the one? What am I doing wrong?
Very true, because I think it gets real after you guys are done, and or maybe when you guys are almost finishing and you're like tuliingia wote hapa, and then you realize that's how life works. Some of you will get better jobs, some of you won't get that job. But that doesn't mean you cannot work your way up the ladder. Because kuna wale wanapatangio job then wana relax. Unakuja you pass them. You kimbia then you finish up big time and you're like, hey, okay. I think that's how life is. And I remember a lecturer of mine telling me me being a prof really started. Hata nyi mko like mmeanza na degree. Sisi we were worse. Mimi nilianza na certificate. I'm like, mwalimu, you've been that patient. I'm like, I had to, because this is where I wanted to be. And he was our school HOD, head of department for our faculty. It was like, I said with a cert, I went to the deep. Back in the 70s, the deep, then I came to a degree. Then after that, finishing that, I went now outside, did a lot of that, books, came by, and now I finished my all that PhD and all that here in Kenya. So like, that's a journey. And like, yeah, and there are those of us, and there are those of my friends who passed vizuri, had a degree, but wakaiachia hapo. Here I am with all this. And yeah, it reminded me of something that you really have to go with your pace and focus on the small things that really make you who you are.
True.
Competition itakuwa hapo. It's pretty sad, but that's life. So what advice, or let me say, how do you think is the best way to overcome job shaming?
Oh, I think I'd also like to highlight something before I give an advice. When you mention finishing, let's say, uni and getting a job, there's something which is happening here for you. So let's say you finished uni at, let's say, 22, 23, 24. So you're transitioning.
True.
You're moving from being taken care of to taking care of yourself. So you finished school, you feel you really need a job, you need to be on your own, you need to move out, you need to do things. So that weighs you down because you're going through a transition now and you don't know what to do. You know where you want to be,
exactly,
but you're not there, and probably you don't know how to
get there.
So that's you bridging the gap between school and
real life.
Yes. So it's easier for you to get mental health issues in between here because you don't know what's happening. Before you get a job, you're worried. I might never get a job. Will I ever get a good job? and then you hear your friend Sam here has gotten a job with some big firm and they're being paid well. You know, it gives you more anxiety that you find you shaming yourself
Yeah.
more than other people shaming you.
Shaming you.
You know, sometimes some will just come and say, oh, I got a job, it's nini nini, it's a good job, it's paying well.
Kwanza
And
with
then-
status now, right now.
yeah, and probably some is just happy, but you're like, oh my God, some is looking down upon me, you know.
You're just appreciating where you are.
Yeah,
Then someone is out there anaiangalia in another aspect.
and it's a bias they have. So I think for job shaming, for you to overcome it, it has to come from within. It's more, let's say, job claiming more than job shaming.
You claim it.
Yeah, claim what you're doing.
Appreciate where you are.
Appreciate where you are. See the importance of what you're doing and how you're contributing to your own well-being and to other people. So that's what I'd say. Start from within.
Start from within.
Such that when let's say it's just an example, it's not you Sam who's doing it. When Sam comes to your job na anakuonyesha madharau, you're like, you know what, Sam, it doesn't matter. You might lose your job.
Exactly, man. Inaweza fanyika tu hivi, man.
And I might be the one with the job, you know.
Life just does
just
this.
Just think, Sam, you're not feeding me. Have I asked you for money?
Exactly.
No. Exactly. So I think it comes from within, people being confident in what they are doing and understanding that you can be equally good at everything that you're doing. And even do not judge a fish by how well it can climb a tree.
Everybody is doing
Yeah.
it their own way.
Yeah.
And they'll just figure where they're supposed to figure.
And for the people who, let's say, have good jobs early on, or they are doing well, or later in their careers, their jobs have really progressed. I think it's more of also like being conscious, being aware of yourself and being aware of the world around you, and understanding that it doesn't revolve around you. It's not
Exactly.
about you.
Everybody has their own thing going on.
Yes, and respect it.
Respecting.
Yes.
To job shame us. You're miskia. You're miskia. And I think I'll add this also to people who are job shaming others. Man, I think, okay, to one thing to overcome this is avoid people who have weird characteristics. If somebody is coming on hard on you because of where you are, kwanza with men inakuanga mbaya sana. Sisi ni wale wa kutumana majacket, wewe ndio unatumwa jacket, wewe ndio unatumwa ende angalie nyama, saa zile mvua inanyesha.
Ndio uletee mama jamba.
Club iko huko, bezi ya nyama iko huko. Sasa hiyo Chalia ando anakuambia wewe
Shika funguo.
shika funguo niende jacket. I think you've seen that also.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you've seen, and you see how people I'm like, bro, I think kuna vitu zingine msa ujitakia. I think that's where people unaanzanga tu pia wewe mwenyewe kujieka chini so that people even step on you. I think if you know your worth and you know what, hey, you've been invited somewhere, right? Do you have that money to go there? Do you have that? Are these people mentally, you and them, are you guys really connecting mentally in terms of they respect you where you are? Leo sina, and they'll give you that, they'll accord you that respect. Like, and like, what? You know, when you find someone who tries to downgrade you in front of a babe so that the babe can like them, that's a red flag as a guy. Yeah, so you find someone trying to put you down because they've seen someone, you know what, I'm the one in authority, I'm the one who has this and has that. So I think vitu zingine ni kujitakia. So as any gender, I don't know how girls do it, but as any gender, if you know that these people are not good for you, mind your own business. Wambie uende, kama ni sherehe ende upige kwako, kama ni kutulia ende ufanye getaway kwa pali where you're being appreciated, and stay where you're being appreciated. And if it's job shaming and it's getting straight to your head, I know losing a job or even quitting is really sad, but your mental health and your mental space comes first. So if you can avoid it at all cost and focus on other things, move on with life. But to job shame us manze, hii life ina balance yanga vizuri sana. It just balances itself. You get it early, you lose it fast. You get it late, you'll also lose. Is this how life is? So it's just about balancing and everything. And I really hope to my listeners who have reached where we are, you've learned something out of this. Job shaming is sad, and it's a thing. and really must focus on the most important thing of uplifting others, even if they're not yet there on where they should be. So I think that's about it. Thank you, Anne. I really appreciate you for coming and sharing your mind on this. And thank you so much, guys, for listening to the VIA podcast. Till next time, this has been your host, Chief Sam, and my guest,
Anne Saragi.
Bye-bye.